I'm going to introduce your first speaker, and she too is a cancer survivor, a long-term ovarian cancer survivor. Sherry Abbott is the original survivor, and she has received positive support through all of her most challenging times from her friends and family. She's the former executive director of the CCTFA Foundation. She serves as a global brand ambassador for Look Good, Feel Better, and that's the only cancer charity that addresses the appearance-related effects of all cancers impacting women. And she's Vice President of Business Development for Pinnacle Cosmetics. Please give a warm welcome to Sherry. Thank you.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. Thanks for coming out today. This really is a special day. It feels like kind of spring is in the air. So this is a nice positive way to get things off to a new start. I think all things new in the spring again. I'm really honored to be here today, and thank you, Anne, for the introduction. I'm very proud to be a cancer survivor. It was about almost 28 years ago that I was diagnosed with what was then referred to as terminal ovarian cancer. I was told back in the day that I had about 3 months to live and I'd never see the new year. That was in September of 1989. And as I went through a host of treatments, found myself grappling at the thought of, who's going to look after me? I was already divorced from my husband, and I had no children. And it ended up being my best girlfriends, my father, and my sister who provided the best care possible to me. And I'd had a little bit of an introduction about the impact of cancer on families and how it can literally rip our hearts out in seconds when my own mother was diagnosed with cancer. And during her final months and weeks, it was a time I knew she needed us more than ever, or probably ever again for that matter. And it was so frightening because we had no idea how to provide care to her. We loved her so much, and it was so frustrating to not know what to do or what to say or how to best help her. So this past year, I was diagnosed with breast cancer, and it was quite a departure from those years gone by. And I think I've learned a lot from people like Dawn and from Kate and from many others on their own cancer journeys. Jane, who's here today with Look Good, Feel Better, and many survivors. But we do learn through experience how to put our best selves forward. I often thought back to those days when I was being treated for ovarian cancer, that had I been married or had I had a partner, I probably would have dragged us both into the rabbit hole, and neither one of us would ever gotten out because there really were no coping strategies. And I really believe that if there were more brave men like Don Kerr who were willing to, really put themselves out there for people to know their own vulnerability in these life-changing situations, that it would be helpful to all. I know it would have been helpful to me. One of my greatest fears after I was told I could actually leave Princess Margaret Hospital after pretty much living there for almost 3.5 months was, oh my God, who's gonna look after me? Who's gonna care for me? I'm not able to do it myself. And those of you who know me will recall this story. I weigh about 140 pounds now, like I did before I was diagnosed, and refused to weigh myself after I went down to about 90 pounds. Not a hair on my body, eyes looking like they were going to bulge out of my head. My teeth didn't fit in my mouth anymore. It was really a sad thing, and I had no appetite. I could barely do anything. I could barely move. And it was really a frightening time. So I feel that a lot of the strategies that you've experienced, the damned if you do, damned if you don't, Kate is always right, and men always remember, women are always going to be right. But it's a really beautiful book, and I think it's an easy read. It's thought-provoking. And I really believe that riding shotgun is a book that will enhance anyone who's going to be there for a loved one, a friend, a colleague, a family member at their most challenging time, man or woman. And I would encourage all of you to get a copy. I think the author is going to sign them today himself. I'd also like to just take the opportunity to thank Dawn and Kate for the incredible impact they made to the Look Good, Feel Better program in Canada. As a blogger on facingcancer.ca, they both contributed much, shared so much of themselves, and provided much inspiration for all of us, especially trying to manage cancer diagnosis and treatment and raise two young, rambunctious men at the same time. So it was really something, and then all of the work and support that Dawn and Kate have provided Look Good, Feel Better. And I always like to just say, if you know someone who is experiencing cancer, please refer them to one of the free Look Good, Feel Better workshops at 112 cancer care facilities and hospitals across Canada. Over 10,000 women a year are supported through that free program, and by helping the women look and feel more like themselves again, we believe it's a really helpful strategy in helping them put their best selves forward, and I think Kate's a beautiful example of that. So thank you for having me here today, and Dawn, perhaps you'd like to come and help me off the stage. Thank you.